What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. Today, we're gonna go over a quick image comparison of the Sony FX30 to the FX3 and to the FX6. And to help with this, I created let's call it a short film based on true events. I feel if you're in this space, you'll be able to relate as well. But in this, I used all three cameras. They're mixed in no particular order. While you're watching it, try to figure out which camera is being used where. Here we go. You've got to be kidding me. Your work must really suck. How have you provided for your family this long? This is pitiful. There's no way you're gonna make this work. You better start figuring something else out, buddy. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Before we move on to a little closer look at these images side by side, here is a condensed version of what you just saw, with each shot labeled with its specific camera. The first test is probably the best for our purposes, the most clear. It's right here in this setting where I'm just talking in front of the camera. I took turns and put the 35mm on each camera. So the reasons for these tests and how we're doing it is to see which LUT gets the FX30 footage closest looking to the FX3 or A7S III footage. Top shot here is the FX3, bottom shot FX6, and in the middle is the FX3. And I've duplicated that and split it down the middle. So the FX30 image on the left is colored with the FX6 neutral LUT, and the FX30 image on the right is colored with the A7S III neutral LUT. That's a mouthful. Now, when it comes to this, I'm no expert. I'm just looking at it and I'm telling you what I see. So if you want to make a point in the comments and point something out that I'm not saying, go for it. Happy to see it. I'd love to read it. I'll respond. I'm sure it'll be helpful to many other people who see it. And what I'm seeing in these images right here is that there's a clear difference in skin tones and other colors. You can see in the FX6 image that the skin tones are a little bit more, I don't know, I want to say green or brown. And in the FX3, they're more red. And it's probably a little bit more vibrant of an image. And it does that for the FX30. The one on the left with the FX6 image, it leans towards the FX6. And the one colored with the A7S III LUT leans more towards the top FX3 image. So looking at this first test, I would call it a successful test and comparison because those images are very close to each other. This next test is a little bit harder to tell the difference. I can really see the difference more so in the colors, especially in the background. For the FX30 image on the bottom, I'm gonna be going back and forth in between the FX6 LUT and the A7S III LUT, both neutral. I'm only using the neutral LUT. Now, the first time I watched this, I could not tell a difference. But when I went in frame by frame back and forth between clips that were colored differently, I could tell a difference. Here is the FX30 image blown up for the entire screen with the other images on top of it, and half is the A7S III LUT and half is the FX6 LUT. See if you can really tell a difference. If you're like me, the difference here is so minimal, it's basically a non-issue. You could interweave these shots back to back, different cameras, and almost not even tell a difference at all. For the most part, and for the majority of people, no one is going to tell a difference. For Joel, on the other hand, for people who live in this every day, for people who love this kind of stuff, yeah, there is a difference. Now, I do tend to see these kind of videos as helpful at times. Do I enjoy making them as much? No, I don't. But if I was looking and shopping to buy one of these cameras, I 100% would have watched this. For anyone that's looking to buy any of these cameras, they're all great. They're all gonna get the job done. They're great tools. Yes, there are some slight differences between the FX30 and the FX3. And then there's lots of differences between those two and the FX6. But let that come down to preference. I like the FX6 the most, probably because I like the size, I like the bigger body size, and I like the internal NDs. But if I didn't have the FX6, I would be able to shoot anything I ever need or want with the FX3 or the FX30. Now, some people may not agree. Some people may say it's crop sensor versus full frame. And you know what? Those are arguments that are stupid. It's all about storytelling. It's all about getting the job done. It's all about being efficient in your work. It's not about I'm a better shooter because I own an FX6 versus an FX30, or I shoot full frame versus shooting crop sensor, because this crop sensor packs a punch. So next time that you're looking and comparing all these cameras and seeing which one is better, which one do I really need, let me tell you right now, all these cameras that are coming out, that are out right now, you can't go wrong. You should be able to shoot everything you need on any of these new cameras across brands, not just talking about Sony. All these new cameras today, they are all killer tools. So thanks for making it all the way through. If you got anything out of this, it's that all these cameras are great. All the images are great. They're good tools to be used for anything. If you have any comments or questions, leave me a comment down below. Hit the like button. I hate saying that, but I appreciate anyone that watches these videos a ton. I love the feedback, and that makes me want to make more. See you soon.